Hello all, greetings, this is Gilles Morcion. I thought I'd come back and make a short video, or brief video, or maybe just normal video, but to speak about this certain ideas. To understand that when we are connected to our soul and our God self, we feel really good. We always, when we feel very good, it's because we completely align with our soul, even if I'm not connected consciously to our soul and spirits. But it's and then when we feel, as soon as this energy, because it comes as wave, it comes as tide. When this energy leaves, we find alone. We find ourselves. It's cold. It's like it's difficult. But until the day of the fusion, when we achieve the fusion with our I Am presence, we'll be able to ascend beyond the universe into the sphere of the super universe, find the supreme, traverse the central universe, find the supreme, achieve the status of residence on paradise, and find God, the first source and center. From there afterwards, we don't know, but we don't need to know. This is the ultimate goal, is to find God, to return to the source. And through that, we need to align our will with the will of our I Am presence. And so what's blocking the miracles in all ways is there is all kinds of miracles that are ready to happen. It's our focus on negative things, our focus on problem, our focus on chaos, our focus on the destruction. So we do not want to be too distracted and to focus as much as possible for transforming our physical body from Homo sapien to Homo luminous into a light body is a lot of effort. So it will take a lot of effort. It is not. It does require a certain. Unless you have lived the life of an ascetic monk, there is some work to be done in the cleansing process. My life for many years was sex, drug, and rock and roll. Now I've done 90% of the work is done. I've learned all that I needed to learn from this lifestyle. I'm moving into something else, but. On many levels, the purification of the physical body is not the alpha and omega. It is just a tool that we need to use in order to channel more of that divine spiritual energy. In the Truth by God, God says that explains that if the vegetarian vegetarian diet was enough to bring you into the state of samadhi, all the cows would already be Buddhas, but they are not yet Buddhas. So it's not about it's just a tool that we use in order to channel more energy, to purify our physical body so it becomes clear and light. I hope this church of Notre Dame will be restored in the way it was originally done, because this big arrow that was planted, it was a 19th century addition. It was addition. It was like a male perforation into this very feminine constructions, and so we hope that this will not be. They may redo it. But I don't think it was part of the original process. And what's interesting is that when you look at the church that's called Notre Dame all over France and you make lines, it looks like the constellation of Virgo, which is the divine feminine. What we want is to break pattern and to start new chapter, to move on to something else. So for that we need to connect to our soul, because what we have to understand that God has forgiven us, has forgiven humanity for all his sin. We just got to let go and forgive ourselves. For there was the karmic board. We have to stay innocent, because the karmic board has declared that 51% of the karma has been. Once 51% of the karma has been transmuted, we are able to ascend. So. For we are making a lot of decisions, but the decisions we make, it's all about details. So all the details that we're making decision on. For what's most important has already been decided by our soul and spirit, and this is what you want to allow that to drive your life, to conduct your life. For I know the wisdom, and it is my soul and spirit that reveals to me the wisdom, the relationship between things. It is not my mental body. For I find that more destructive than anything. Often, for the past is only something that is passing, and the life is something that is passing before our eyes. So we want to be in a contemplative state, not to hold on to the past. There is always new that is coming, and it's just a picture in our mind. Whatever has happened in the past is just a picture in our mind. Every day there is a global meditation, and so we want to tune in every Sunday. We can do it. We're developing our own spiritual building, connecting to the own spiritual complex in any form. By all our work, we're developing this own connection. But there is a collective grid that is happening. You can give into the grid, or you can draw on from that grid. It will be more. What we want to do is to follow the light, to follow the star, to follow our starlight. And understanding the spirit of the universe is a feminine force. It is something that destroys the illusion. It is the love. The office of the goddess is very present on the earth. So just as the office of Michael, or the office of Melchizedek, or the office of Metatron, those are very, very powerful forces that are highly present on the earth. Today, the highest wisdom is the farm. It is ability to nourish ourselves and to nourish others, to understand what grows and how things grow. What we need to do is, what we need to understand, this is the highest wisdom, what we need to understand is the wish. What is the wish we have made? We have made certain wish, and if there are certain things that we are bound to and we do not want to be bound, then we can break those wishes and make new wishes. But in essence, we want to follow what the highest destiny, and what feels good, And what we need to do is love that is not shared. So sometimes we have to let go and let things grow. So once we find that, we become like a tree. We let things grow. The love will come naturally, will flow to us once we are in alignment. And the outcome is the Amerindian. It is I love America. It's a wonderful place. I lived in Colorado, in New Mexico for many years. I was deeply involved with the American Indians and many friends that were part of that. And it is about reconnecting to the great spirit of the universe, connecting to the mother, and seeing the wisdom in nature. There is the more we are able to tune into our God self, the easier life will flow. We have to understand that there is new groups, new beings that are in the universe that we do not know, that are becoming more and more interested in the planet, that are adding their energy. We also can connect to the Agartha, the inner world, because they're here in support. They're just right above us on the spiritual scale. But we do have to relax, to let go of the pressure, because it's like a computer. When there is like upgrade that is being done, a reset, it's like you can't really function very well. So you want to let go of the pressure, because there's a lot of processing and integration, and we need to make room for new energies. It's constantly coming. So it's good to be as fluid as water. So when water meets an obstacle, it goes around it, or it just like pass right over it. It never struggle with the obstacle. Because we are human beings, we are created in the divine image of God. So it's about being timeless and understanding we are the representative of God. To use our breast, our breast to positive our body, for it is through the breath, through the oxygen, that everything is being transmuted. I spoke briefly about the 5 elements of the physical body, for this revealing in acupuncture. To speak about this painting, this is a portrait. This is the first part. I have 6 panels. This is the first panel, and there is 5 panels that speaks about this Taoist allegory. I'm gonna read the note. But the idea is this note. There is 5 elements, and those 5 elements needs to be gathered together. The 5 elements, because there is. The metal is the lungs, the water is the kidneys, the wood is the liver, the fire is in the heart, and the earth is the spleen, the pancreas, and the stomach. And there is a cycle that generates each other, like the metal generates water, the water generates wood, the wood generates fire, fire generates earth, and earth generates metal. But there is also a cycle of destruction. The metal will destroy the wood will destroy the earth will destroy the water will destroy the fire will destroy the metal. So it is a science of acupuncture that they understand. And so there was a Taoist allegory that was done about that was paying tribute to those great because there are spiritual forces within each of those organs that are led by emperors. It's like a whole empire. Each of those elements are recognized as empire, and this is like the whole introduction note. I'm not going to read it all. But I'm going to read all the 5 panels that come afterwards. So just the end here. It just says, I'm just going to read the end. That says, it's because it's from French. It says it comes from a book that was channeled, that was called the Trip to Paradise, and it comes from the spiritual school of the saint of Techu in Formosa. When we perfect ourselves on the way, the 5 energy of the 5 visceras are returning to the origin and to the original ancestors. The heart is the residence of the spirit. So the first panel is red, and it corresponds to the heart. The heart is the residence of the spirit. From the principle of after creation, it is about the cognitive consciousness. From the principle of before creation, it is about rituals. If we are exempt of sorrow, the spirit stabilizes most certainly. It is corresponding to the red emperor of the southern sphere, because the energy of the fire element pays tribute to the origin. And the second painting, I'm translating it, so I'm trying to do my best in the translation because the book I have is in French. The second painting is green, and it says the liver. It's written in green. The place of residence of the soul. From the principle of the after creation, it is about the wandering soul. From the principle of the after creation, it is about the love of humanity. If we are exempt of allégresse, exuberance, of blind passion, the soul fixes itself most certainly. It is corresponding to the green emperor of the oriental sphere, because the energy of the wood element pays tribute to the origin. The fourth panel, but the third element is in yellow. I can't really show because I don't have the space to show those panels. It's a very important painting, very beautiful, from 1990. It says the spleen. The spleen is the residence of the willpower. From the principle of after creation, it is about the wandering thoughts. From the principle of before creation, it is about faithfulness. If we are exempt of sexual passion, the will must stabilize, must determine itself certainly. It corresponds to the yellow emperor of the central sphere, because the energy of the earth element pays tribute to the origin. Then the next panel, is written in white. It says the lungs. And it says place of residence of the astral body. From the principle of after creation, it is about the genie, the double etherical genie. From the principle of after creation, it is about duty. If we are exempt of furious enragement, the astral body must certainly establish itself. It corresponds to the white emperor of the occidental sphere, because the energy of the metal element pays tribute to the origin. And then the final piece, the last piece of that painting, of is in black, and it's the kidneys. The kidneys, place of residence of the seminal energy. From the principle of after creation, it is the sperm. From the principle of before creation, it is lucidity. If we are exempt of sexual pleasure, the seminal essence concentrates itself. It corresponds to the sphere of the black emperor of the northern septentrional sphere, the northern sphere, because the energy of the water element pays tribute to the origin. So those are they're written by esoteric monks. So they have discovered this internal alchemistry, where they have mastered all of the physical aspects. And so, but it's those are powerful esoterical teachings that we'll eventually come to realize. It's personal realization. And they say the 3 flowers will meet at the Saint-Ciput, at the top of the head. Once the lead flower is full, the silver flower and the golden flower, when we have deblock all the meridians so we achieve this transcendental state. And we'll finish with a song which is like a little bit on the opposite side. For this is like very esoterical, very monastic. This painting was like a very monastic kind of idea, but then. And the song is most about joy, about the physical pleasures of the world. So just to balance it out, it goes like this. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him drink his wine, and he always had some mighty fine wine, singing joy across the world. All the boys and girls, joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. If I were the king of the world, tell you what I'll do. I'll throw away the cars and the bars and the walls, and I make sweet love to you, singing joy across the world. All the boys and girls, joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. You know I love the ladies, I love to have my fun. I'm a high night flyer and a rainbow rider and a straight shooting son of a gun, said a straight shooting son of a gun, singing joy across the world. All the boys and girls, joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. Well, thank you very much for sticking to the end. It's a bit, I've been talking about some very esoterical things today, but those are very, this painting is still very magical. I can't wait to really have the space to put them all together, organize my catalog and so on. Well, thank you very much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.